So we have discussed about work status. We'll try and understand. I've sent these documents to you. Just go through any doubts, you can come back. Okay. So we'll understand about business process flow today. So what do you understand by BPF? Team, what do you understand by business process flow? So we have used this word many times during our previous classes. So what do you understand by BPF? It's used to perform what? It is not used to perform anything. Okay, see, we don't control. It's only a monitoring. Okay. Uh, See, it's like this. Let's say, simple example I will give you so that you can relate easily. Let's say you are organizing an event in your house. Okay. Now, when you are organizing an event, you need to have certain set of activities that needs to be done, right? Arranging the food for the function, arranging the chairs or whatever, and getting the lights decorated, getting the house decorated, and then making an invitation to all the people, ensuring that they reach safely here. So these are the set of activities that you do. Okay, so few of the activities are depending on the previous activities, few of the activities are independent. Now, to ensure that you don't miss out on any of the activities, you prepare the list of activities that you need to do. Okay, and you put a sequence on what activity should be done on after what. The same way, whenever there is a process in the organization, you have to come up with the list of activities that you are supposed to do and the dependency on the other activities for each activity. I repeat, BPF is nothing but the list of activities that you are supposed to do for the completion of the process, and it's also will indicate the dependency of each activity on the other previous activities. Okay, BPF, business process flow, as itself does not do anything. Okay, it only creates instances and templates and assigns user IDs who should be doing what. But B, BPF on its own does not contribute to the business process. Clear? I repeat, BPF does not have anything to contribute to the business process. It's only a list of activities, or it's only a monitoring tool where you can see the list of activities that are supposed to do and what is the status on each of those activities and where are we with respect to the completion of the process. This is what is provided by BPF. Okay, so we'll go through this document and then just do a one creation of BPF. So as I told you, BPF helps in creating, maintaining and executing a sequence of steps to fulfill the requirements of a business process. Okay, we have a business process. BPF helps in creating, maintaining, and executing the sequence of steps to fulfill the requirements of the business process. Okay. Now, BPF also helps us to monitor and understand the current status of planning and consolidation process. Okay, how do we get to know this? See, So what it says, it helps us to monitor and understand the current status of planning or consolidation process. Planning or consolidation process means the generic term I am using here. It can be anything: planning, forecasting, sales planning, cost center planning, anything. So it helps us to monitor and understand the current status of the planning. Okay. How does it help? See, now whenever I log into BPC admin client, I would have used my login ID, right? BPC admin is my login ID. Now, what is my login ID? It's nothing but a end user, one of the users with administrative privileges, right? Now, can you see two tabs here under home? Can you see two tabs here, activities and process monitor, right? So, where are we logged in now? Sorry. Yeah. Can you see two activities, two tabs, activities and process monitor? Activities is for, it will display all the activities that I need to do as part of my business process flow. I repeat, activities will display, just one second guys. Okay, sorry. I was telling activities will display the list of activities that you are supposed to do. When I say you, the person who has logged in, that you are supposed to do as part of BPF, right? And what is process monitor? Let's say for one of the one of the BPF process, you are assigned as the process monitor. Then you will be able to see which are the activities that have been completed and what has reached which state. Okay, you understood the difference between these two, the activities and the process monitor? Team, are you there? No confusion? So if I had to tell simply, activities is for end users, process monitor is for your the people who actually monitor the entire set of activities. Clear? Okay, good, fine. Now, so this is how BPF helps us to monitor and understand the current status of the planning and consolidation process. It provides the interface to define the steps and features of features to execute them. We'll see how it actually provides the interface to define the steps. So we have two separate tab. Okay. So the configurations with respect to creation of template and all is done in admin client. So in BPF we have two tabs, process template and process instance, where we create the templates and instances for various activities that we will be doing. Okay. Provides a sequence of steps with each step corresponding to one action. All the steps the business is completed. So when all the steps in the BPF is completed, we also say the process itself is completed. So if I have to summarize what BPF does is, it's a central menu to access the functions in a model where all the functionalities, be it an input form, data manager, report, everything is accessible from BPF. Okay, a monitoring tool. As I told you, through process monitor we can monitor it. It also provides an option to send email notifications for specific set of tasks. If I have to say, let's say for specific set of tasks, I have to send the email notification for 10 people, so I can also configure that. Okay. Yeah, the same thing I would have repeated. Okay. The two views available, activities view and the process monitor view. This is what I discussed here, the activities view and the process monitor view. Okay. So activities view displays the list of activities for instance and provides interface to complete the actions associated with this. This is basically the list of activities that you are supposed to do as an end user. Process monitor views provides the option to monitor the entire business process flow. So whoever has been assigned as the process monitor in that business process flow will be able to get this access. Clear? Okay, fine. So we'll try and create a VPF. So any questions on this? Okay. So what is a process template? So what do you understand by template here? Team? So what do you understand by template? Yeah, obviously template can be reused, but yeah, template, yeah, format, right, you're right. See, template is actually, it's basically the list of, in this context, it gives you the basic common features that are used in all of your activities and which is applicable to a particular model. Okay. So here, let's say we define a new process. Let's say we are defining sales planning process. Okay. Now sales okay, and we have to select the model. Which was the model that we selected for Workspace yesterday? HP cons, right? This is the one. Okay, let me check that. HP cost of sales. Okay, good. HP cost of sales. Okay. Now here, just look at the screen. Here we actually select the dimensions based on which our process template is driven. So I would be ideally selecting so copy entity. Okay, just one second. This is what the mistake we did last time. Okay, category and time. So ideally we would be selecting category and time here. Okay, and in the next screen, okay, so we will have various process templates based on our category and time, and entity we would be selecting in the next instance. Okay, so basically I'm saying I would be creating various instances based on for sales planning process based on category and time. Okay. So category and time, when I say instances, it can be, let's say if we have actual category, plan category and forecast, I can create actual category and in combination with any of the time dimension I have created, be it January 2013, Feb 2013 or Q1 2013. Same way I can create for planning also, I can create multiple instances for various time dimensions. Okay, this is what I mean by I'm selecting dimensions for this process setting. Now look at this process monitor. What here you can specify the users who will be actually acting as process monitors for the BPF that you are defining. So here when I say, okay, sorry, here what all processes for which you will be assigned as process monitor will be displayed here. So only if I select your username here. So only if I select BPC admin here, BPC admin will be able to see the sales planning process in the uh, process monitor screen. Clear? You're clear with process monitor, Pada? Okay, fine. So I save it. Okay, fine. We'll define the activity. Okay, so here I can define new set of activities for the sales planning process. For example, let the first activity, usually in any BPF, will be data entry. Okay, data entry for the sales planning. Here I select entity. Okay, now based on the dimension I would be choosing here, I'll get to see which are the members for which I would be creating my instances in the next screen. Okay, so let's say there are four options here. Usually we goes by base member or single member of. So let's say single member of, and then we go to any one of the entity, let's say HP India. So what I'm trying to say here is I'm trying to create an instance, or I'm trying to create the sales planning process based on HP India Private Limited. Okay, now who is the performer? The performer will be owner. Remember last class we have discussed, and we need a reviewer. So basically I'm trying to say when I'm doing the sales planning process, the owner and the reviewer will be from the HP entity, copy entity dimension in the model that we have selected. Okay, just click on the instances. So we have only one instance. We don't have the owner and reviewer. We will have to assign that. So just I'll show you another option. Let's say we select base members of and HP Limited Group. Okay, then what will happen? I get all the base members. So I get to see so many instances for all the base members of a particular parent company. You're getting what I'm trying to say? So in this way, you have the option to choose for what all entities. When you have selected entity as a dimension, you have the option to choose for what all entities you need to define the process instances in the next screen. Clear, or you still have any doubt? Team? Okay, good. Now, as I discussed yesterday, we have this option of opening criteria, whether it's a dependent activity or it can be started with a parallel activity for the previous context. Okay, we can we allow reopen is to, even if sometimes the data entry has been submitted and you want it to be reopened because there was some change in the way data was entered earlier and it has to be entered again. So we have this option of allow reopen. Okay, so once, okay, I'll not select so many base members because it will be time consuming for me to enter the owner and reviewer for each instance. So I'll select only one. Okay, right. Once I do this, I'll have to create the workspace for owner and reviewer. What is the workspace? Workspace is nothing but your, let's say, the place where you have all your favorites or all your activities to be completed. Okay, so I have the option to create same workspace for both performer and reviewer. Okay, I'll just create a workspace. When you get access, just try and create workspaces. Okay, here it's, here you'll just have a screen to where you can create your reports, input forms and all that, and you can keep on adding whatever that is required for this activity. So basically what we are doing here is we are just creating a workspace for performer. Okay, now I can add content. Here I'll get to see all the reports and input forms that I've created. Okay, we have not created anything for this model. Okay, fine, no problem. So when we create any reports or input forms in through our EPM or through web input forms, those data will be available here. We can add and select them. Okay, similarly we can also add new reports. Okay, this is basically a web report. This is not the EPM report, this is the web report. I'll have a separate class on web reports. These web reports are very slow. That is one of the problems. We actually in real time we don't use web reports. They are basically used for, I mean, they're basically required for end users who do not have EPM access and they want to generate small reports. Oh God. Should not have selected this. Okay, in the meantime, just observe this actual, the ones you're seeing in the top tab, actual 2013 total and HP limited. What is that called? Same thing what we have used in EPM reports or input forms. What is that called? I'm referring to this one, actual total HP limited. What is this called? It is called as context. Okay, so context can be changed for each report and input form. So every time you select an input form or a report, you need to select the appropriate context. Okay, I'll not save that because it will take a lot of time. So I'll just okay. I'll create a I'll not go to this. So what I'm trying to say is I can add new reports and input forms which I have created through EPM and have been saved in various public private folders. Okay, and I can also add a new input form. I'll not use this, it will take a lot of time. So I've just we have added one report. Just observe this. Okay, and we can also add hyperlinks. This is a very important option where we can select whatever hyperlinks we want to for the various BPF stages. Okay, so we can give an hyperlink for, let's say we can give data manager for currency translation. Okay, so data manager functionality for currency translation. Here we have to select target action. Target action is we have multiple options where we can choose from. We have Microsoft Excel, we have data manager, Word, PowerPoint, okay, work status and comments, audit. Like this we have multiple options where we can choose the kind of activity that we would be doing based on our BPF step. Let's say I'll choose data manager. So it will display the various data managers activities that have been activated for this model. So I can choose, okay, specific package. So I can run the specific package that I need. Okay, again it's not defined. Wait 1 second, let's see. Okay, for now we will select data upload package. Okay, and here we can define the context for which, again the context is as in whatever I specified here, same context, the various dimensions, the way you select in a report. Either you can select it here or you can mention it as use workspace context. Whatever is available at the time of the end user is being working on that, you can also enable him to select whatever context is required. Okay, so this is a possible option. So I can select multiple. After I complete this, I can select one more Excel, Word, like this. So I can keep on doing this. So this will allow us to create the workspace for the performer and the reviewer, right? Now I just go back and see my activities. Okay, okay, sorry, just 1 second, one more step is pending. Okay, once this is done, I complete my process template settings. Okay, once I finish my process template settings, I have to go to process instance. So what do I do with process instance? In process instance, I basically create instances of various processes that I'm involved in, and I also assign the end user IDs. That's a very important activity. I assign the end user IDs. In other words, here in the process template, I have not assigned who should be doing which activity. I have just given owner and reviewer tab, and in the workspace I have just created what are all the activities that should be done by the performer and the reviewer. But have I assigned who is the end user who would be doing the activity? No, right? Nowhere I have defined. The only thing that I have defined is who is the process monitor in the BPC, in the process settings. He is the process monitor. But who will be doing what activity I have not defined here. That's what I will be defining in the previous stage, the process instance. Okay, so I go to BPF and process instance. I select new. I'll get all the process here. Okay, why am I not getting? Okay, just 1 second. I think we need to log off and log in. Let me try this. Okay. Sometimes this happens, guys. In fact, many of the times it happens. You may have to log in and log out. Let's see if our process is created. Okay. Did we validate? Okay. Refresh. Okay. Fine. It's coming now. So here, this once I select the sales planning process, don't confuse that both for new process and sales planning process I am getting the same option. It's because for both the process I have defined same set of activity. If you're getting confused, we can change it. Okay, we can't change it now because it's deployed. Okay. Okay, so here we can select the sales planning process. It will display the list of activities that we have created, and then click on the next. Select the owner who will be finalizing the instance. Okay, and then select the context. This is what I was telling you. We can select the context. Why did we get category and time here? Because in process template we would have chosen category and time as the options, the dimensions based on which we would be doing our context selection. So when I say category, it will display all the categories that I have got in my category dimension. I will select actual, and then I'll select 2014. I'll select 2014 Q1. Okay. Here, I'm not sure why we are getting one small error, but that can be, we have a workaround. In real time, we can do our assignments and assignments here only, but here yesterday when I tried, it was giving an error. So let me check if the same error is coming here also. You've understood how the category and time have come here, right? Yeah, just so try and define multiple options there. Try and see how it's influencing the data here. Okay. The same as some server issue actually. No problem, we can do this. See, just we have done 3 steps, okay? Select the process, select owner and select context. We have to do check assignment and review and start, okay? So I'll just cancel this and we can do that, okay? Okay. See, here is my process instance, okay? All I need to do is select this process and then change assignment, okay? The last 2 steps are here, the process instance. Okay, so here for what all instances I am trying to create, I can assign owner and reviewer. See, I'll assign BPC admin only because these are the only 2 users available in my this thing, and I cannot create new users. I don't have access to that. Okay, so I can also give roles to that. Okay, so once I do that, all I'm doing is I'm specifying the username, and the username would be actually doing the okay, I can't, reviewer cannot be same person. Okay, okay. So what I'm trying to say here is for data entry activity in the sales planning process for HP India Private Limited, who is the performer and who is the reviewer? This is what I'm trying to do. So if you remember, I told you in the beginning of the class itself that what is process instance is nothing but creation of instances and assigning the end users who would be performing and reviewing those activities, right? So this is what I would be doing here. I'll finish it. Okay, start that activity. So the activity is successfully running. Once it is running, you go to your activities page. Under sales planning process, I have the activity that needs to be performed. Here I can select this activity and I can perform what all activities I can perform here. So this is what the link we have created. I can click on any of these options and I can finish my activity. Okay. So I also have the option of process monitor because the same person I have been assigned as process monitor also. Here I will get to see what are the activities that are pending and what is the status of each activity and who is the performer and reviewer. Isn't it a handy tool? So this is how BPF in, see, BPF as an independent thing is actually not that effective. So you have to use that along with work status to achieve the whatever functionality that we have discussed yesterday and today, right? Okay, let it load. So any other question, guys? You have understood the work status and BPF? Okay, good. Yeah, yeah, we can use work status. We'll do that. Okay. Why is it not showing any process? Okay, let's show. Mm, okay, where is it? Okay, it's already been submitted. Can you see this? So here, under my activities tab, I can select that activity. I can do whatever status change I can do. In input forms and reports also, I don't want to click here. In input forms and reports also, the way I showed you on the other day, in the EPM input form, we have under save data, we have the work status option. It will display all the work status that is available in for this particular activity, and we can choose any of them and then save it. Clear? So just try yourself the creation of activities and instances. You'll understand better. Nothing. It's not very complex. Just you have to create a template. Okay. Just create the set of activities. Just one thing. Make sure that don't select entity here. Don't select entity or any other dimension which has been used as owner and reviewer property. Don't select that. You have to select that hit here. That's one thing which get confused. Okay, we have to select that here, the driving dimension. Other than that, everything is pretty simple. You just have to assign owner and reviewer dimension, and then come back to your instances. Okay. No, we have maintained. No, we maintained actually. We have maintained, right? Owner and reviewer for every entity we have maintained. This is what I did yesterday, right? See, yeah. So in real time, how it works is, see, I have a limitation here in the uh, classroom session. I have only one user access. If I have multiple user access, I can show you. I can log in as BPC user, BPC admin, and I can show you what is displayed for what. So here, when I'm an end user, I will only get what are the activities what I am supposed to do. The process monitor, only the process monitor will be able to see the set of activities. Okay, just try this. This is not very complex. Just try this. You'll understand. Any other question, guys, on this BPF?
Hello?
Yeah, tell me.
Hello, Avinash.
Yeah, tell me.
So, though we have defined different users, right, in the entity, we can assign BPC user and admin here.
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
Can you mute 1 second? I'm not able to. So, for the entity dimension, right, for against India, we have maintained some IDs, like some numbers. But we are able to assign the owner and reviewer as BPC admin and BPC user. So,
Able to do that.
do they?
See, it's
those
see.
users need not be.
Yeah, it's like this.
Okay. They can do.
Yeah, it's like this. Okay, I understood your question. It's like this. See, in any organization, you will have a reporting structure. Okay. What I've given here is the reporting structure. Where is that copy entity? This is your reporting structure. But most of the times, the reporting structure is not followed as it is. Okay. Now, 1001 may delegate this work to somebody else. Right? although he is the legal owner or the actual owner as per the company policy, he might delegate that work to somebody else. He might be traveling, right? So that's how this is the what it shows here is the reporting structure of this organization in terms of owner and reviewer. But what I do there in the process instance is actually the person who will be actually performing that work. And I can assign multiple users. It's not that I can assign only one user. I can assign multiple users. I can assign to the person who has been created as owner in the copy entity dimension, as well as assign the other person, so that both of them can review or can come to a common conclusion and then submit it. This is how it works. See, these are the activities we do once during implementation. These are not daily activities that we do. Okay, so don't worry too much about this. All you need to know is who will have access from which workspace to what activities that they are doing. So you should be able to know who is doing what. That's what you should be aware of whenever you are doing a project on BPC. So you're getting to see, right, there are a lot of controls. You need to know who has what state, who has what controls in terms of security and task. Now we have business process flow, then we have work status. So all these factors come into play while giving an access to one of the activities for an end user. Now just checking in one of those options will not help you. Okay, fine. So this is about BPF. So we'll start with tomorrow. We'll start with uh, validations and controls. I just want to give a brief idea about validation and controls. So what are validations, team? What do you understand by validations? Okay. See, when I say validations here, I am referring to data validation. Okay. See, we are basically dealing with data here. If you look at the overall planning and consolidation process, in planning process, users may input data, or users may upload files, or data streaming can happen. Yes, yeah, data streaming, right, you're right. Data streaming can happen from one of the BW info cubes to BPC info cube. Like this, all that we are doing, the basic set of activity that we are doing in planning our consolidation processes, data is flowing from various sources, be it input form, be it flat file, be it data streaming or manual entry. Data is flowing into the BPC cubes. Okay, so when data is being when data is being loaded into the BPC info cubes, we need to have certain rules to ensure that the data is consistent. Okay, so as you rightly mentioned, we can build hundreds of rules depending on the business requirement and the kind of reporting that we are doing. Let's say if we are doing statutory requirement or statutory reporting, all our validations and controls will be driven by the audit or the auditing firm or the gap rules, generally accepted accounting principle rules. Whereas if you are doing a reporting for management requirement, it's completely based on the management requirement that will be building our validation and controls. Okay. So what is the basic, so I am using two terms here, validations and controls. What is the basic difference between validation and control? Validation is during data entry. Okay. Controls is post data entry. Okay. So what I mean is, let's say the same rule that whatever Lakshmi has mentioned, total of assets should be equal to total of liabilities. This is a simple rule that you can build as a validation. If you build this as a validation, unless your data entry is matching this criteria of total assets is equal to total liabilities, your data will not be submitted. Your data will not even be submitted into the model. Okay. If you keep this as control, then you can submit the data still, but this will give us an error at the time of running the control. Okay. So don't wait too much. Tomorrow I'll explain in detail the validations and controls. Just give an overview. Validations are pre-data entry or at the time of data entry. Controls are post-data entry. Okay. So as I was telling you, validation can be varying for each business process or each reporting structure based on whether it's a statutory requirement or it's a management requirement. For statutory requirement, we should ideally follow the gap rules and the auditing requirements. Whereas for the management, we will be following the management requirements to build in our validations and controls. Okay. So just go through any documents you have on validations or controls. We'll start with a few validations and controls tomorrow. Okay.